Good afternoon. Welcome to the fourth sort of session on AS level maths. I'll sort of share my screen and go from here. Hello, my name is Grant McKenzie, and what I intend to do with you today is to have a look at the 2018 WJC past paper, so you can see the different topics that we may not have covered in these couple of sessions. What I'd like to sort of go through is my sort of thinking behind it. They have excluded one or two questions. That is because this year they have taken out certain elements such as transformation of curves, etc. So I haven't covered those ones, and maybe one or two I've taken out just because we would have covered them in logs or trigonometry. So the first question we have is, we have 24 root a over a plus 3 squared minus root a minus 3 all squared. So it needs to be shown showing the workings and simplifying. So these are questions involving sort of surds. For the first part, so for part A, 24 a, I'm not really going to do anything with until we get closer into it. Need to expand root a plus 3. Now, all squared. You can take this off to the side and then put a double bracket, smiley face, or foil. How I would like to expand it is square the first, so that's root a times root a, which is a. Twice the product, so that's going to be 3 root a times 2, so it's going to be 6 root a, and then square the last, so it's going to be plus 9. Just make that a at the beginning. I'm hoping you can see that it's very similar. The only difference is the minus sign. So we're going to have minus, and then this is going to be a, and then instead of that plus, which is what we've got there, we have minus 6 root a, and again we're going to have plus 9. Next line, 24 root a over, and expanding this, we have a minus a plus 6 root a plus 6 root a plus 9 minus 9. Here we have the minus sign. When we're multiplying by the minus sign here, each one of these terms are multiplied by minus 1, so they're going to change their sign. Doing that now, we can have 24 the square root of a over the a minus a goes, so that'll be 6 plus 6, that's going to be 12a. Root of a, which is equal to 2. That goes, cancels, and then it's just 24 divided by 12, which gives you an answer of 2, which is the first part. Part B. So this is rationalizing the denominator. You're going to be multiplying top and bottom by the square root of 7 minus the square root of 3. So I need that minus in there. So it'll be 3 root 7 plus 5 root 3 over root 7 plus root 3. Now then, you get 1 mark for, which is the method mark. Let's get rid of the equal sign. For multiplying top and bottom by root 7 minus root 3. Even if you don't do anything else, you will get 1 mark for doing that. Show that the method is that you intend to multiply. Now I need to expand. Again, it's just double brackets, so this is going to equal, probably start at the bottom first, so that's root 7 times root 7, which is equal to 7, minus, and then you've got the whole point of that minus sign is get rid of that middle term, so it's going to be root 3 root 7 minus root 3 root 7, so I mean it's gone. And then on top, then you've got a plus and a minus, and that's going to be 3 on the bottom, sorry, the second part of it. On top, if you have 3 times 7, and then it would be minus 3 times root 21. We'll stick it straight into the square root back of it where it's 7 threes. Then it is plus 5 root 21. Then it's going to be minus 5 times 3. So I've got my 4 terms. And simplifying that down would give me 21 minus 15. And then I have got plus 2 root 21 over, and 7 minus 3 is 4. And then that would give me 6 plus 2, 21 over 4, which is 3 plus root 21 over 2. And then you're done. So that is 7 marks there for that first question. Moving on to the next one. So question 2. You have the points A and B have coordinates -1, 10, and 5, 1 respectively. So it means it in that order. So -1, 10 is A, 5, 1 is B. The straight line L has equation 2x minus 3y plus 6 equals 0. The line intersects intersects AB at point C. Find the coordinates of C. So if you think about this now, how are we going to work out what those coordinates are? The phrase intersects there, that bit hopefully sort of reminds you of straight line graphs, or even curves, to be honest with you, and the way that they would sort of intersect would be simultaneous equations. But to do that, I need to have 2 equations. I've got one, L, and I know A, B are sort of 2 points. So if I was to join them up by a straight line, I could work out the equation of that as well. Hence, giving me 2 equations, and then if I solve them simultaneously, I would be able to find out the point C where they cross. So that's what I'm going to do. To work out the equation of a straight line, I need the gradient and 1 point. And I've got 2 points, which means I can work out the gradient. So the gradient of AB is equal to the change in y over the change in x. So it's going to be 1 minus 10, 5 minus 1. So that would be minus 9 over 6, minus 3 over 2. And I would probably use, now I prefer to use the formula, but I think majority of people here would use y equals mx plus c. And I think I'm going to use the positive coordinates. I'm going to use b. Doesn't matter if you use the other one, it just makes life a little bit easier. So y is equal to 1, is equal to the gradient, which is minus 3 over 2, multiplied by x, which is 5. That would be plus c. So that if we rearrange this, this is minus 15 over 2. So it's going to be plus 15 over 2, which would then give me 17 over 2. I'm just checking out the values. So then if I have that, I've got the constant, but if I left it like that, I wouldn't have got the sort of, it was just asking for the equation of a line. I wouldn't get the full marks, because what I haven't done is I haven't put it into the actual equation. So y equals minus 3 over 2x plus 17 over 2. And so that I can sort of work with this, the next part, which is simultaneous equations, 2y equals minus 3x plus 17. So now I've got the line and I have got the equation of that I just worked out for myself. So if I put the other one next to it, format, so it's going to be 3y 2x minus 3y plus 6 equal to 0. You can use substitution, you can use elimination. It doesn't matter which technique you use as long as you've got a technique. If I then put the other one underneath it, it's going to be 3x plus 2y minus 17 equal to 0. If I times this one by 2 and this one by 3, I end up with 4x minus 6y plus 12. the top, and I'll have 9x plus 6y minus 51. Again, these are equal to 0, sorry. So my elimination, I would just add them so that I get rid of the y's. And in getting rid of the y's, I have 913x equal to 39. And that would be minus 39. So x equals minus 39 over 13. So x is equal to minus 3. Having found, silly. Right, I should have put equals there. Because that is minus 39 equal to 0. And get rid of that. There. So it'll be, take the minus 39 over, divided by 13. So x is equal to 3. Put into one of the equations for y, so that we have x equals 3. And if we use the one they've got, just because I always use the equation they give us, minus 3y plus 6 equal to 0. I'm going to stick it up here so that I can make sure I got enough room. Next one then would be having 6 plus 6, or minus 3y plus 12 equals 0, 3y equals 12, y equals 4. So the coordinates for C are 3, 4. Excellent. Determine the ratio in which the line L divides line AB. So what you can do, if you can sort of visualize this, you've got the line AB and you've got C somewhere along that point. So what you could do is you could work out the lengths of the line. So I would work out AC, which is A is at the top there, minus 110. So using the equation to work out, so that's going to be 10 minus 4 all squared plus minus 1 minus 3 all squared, which will give me 10 minus 4 is 6 squared, which is 36, plus 4 squared is 16. That is the square root of 52. Then if we do BC, that's in principle, where we have B is 1 minus 4 squared and plus 5 is 3. So that's going to be 9 plus 4, which is the square root of 13. The ratio is the square root of 52 over 13, which is the square root of 4, which is 2. So ratio of AC to CB is 2 to 1. That's part B. Part C, the line crosses the x-axis at point D. Find the coordinates of D. So the line L crosses the x-axis. So if it crosses the x-axis, then y must equal 0. So then I just substitute y equal to 0 into here. So I get 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. 2x equals minus 6. X equals minus 3. I can't remember if I gave myself a blank page or not. Yes, I did. Excellent. So I can fit in the rest of it on the other side. So then it shows that L is perpendicular to AB. Okay, so we know the gradient for AB, which is there. And if I do D part 1, for the other part next. So the gradient of AB is equal to minus 3 over 2. We calculated that previously. We have to show that L is perpendicular. We'll need to get the gradient for that. Doing so, we need to rearrange to get 3y. Take 3 over, that minus goes over to a plus, is equal to 2x plus 6. So y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Gradient is the coefficient of x squared is 2/3. It's not acceptable, or it's not good enough to get be awarded the marks for me to say, well, there you go, that's it. To determine whether something is perpendicular, m1 times m2 equals -1. So we've got the gradient of AB, which is -2/3, times the gradient of the line, which is, sorry, -2 times 2/3, and that is equal to -1, therefore perpendicular. And then calculate the area of the triangle A, C, and D. So if we were to sketch said triangle, and that's what we'll have to do here. If we were to sketch a triangle, I don't really mind too much where the points are. It's just that I know that this point here is D. So -110 is up here, and I know C was 3, 4. So I know that this here is our triangle, where there's a 90° there at 3, 4. This one I worked out, if I remember correctly, as -3, 0, and this one up here is -110. Check to make sure that D is what I said it was, x equals -3, yep. So to work out the area of a triangle, I then put that as D, this one is C, this one is A. The area equals a half base times height, which is a half AC times DC. If I remember correctly, we've already calculated AC when we were doing the ratio, so we need to work out the length of DC. So DC equals the square root of, changing y, so it's going to be 4 minus 0 squared plus 3 minus -3 squared. So DC equals the square root of 16 plus 3 minus -3, so that's going to be 636, which is the square root of 30, 40, 52. And I believe if we look back that the AC is also the square root of 52. This is 1/2 times the square root of 52 times the square root of 52, which is 52 over 2, 56 units squared. And then how many word maths is that? 6, 7, 8, 9. So you look at 14 marks plus the 7 at the start. So it's 23 marks so far out of the first 2 questions. And I don't think there's anything there which any of you would find difficult. Question 3, it is a trigonometry question. And what I'm hoping you can see, remembering now, you only know that tan theta is sine theta over cos theta, and that cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. So those are the 2 things you only know. If you've got a cos squared or sine squared in there, the first position I would be doing is to look to see whether or not, if you've only got one of them, you should be using the second equation. If you've got both of them, then you're probably going to get it in terms of tan squared. So we are going to sort of substitute this out, the cos squared. So we've got 2 minus 3. Instead of cos squared, we're going to put 1 minus sine squared theta, and that is going to be equal to 2 sine theta. Rearranging this is going to be 2 minus 3 plus 3 sine squared theta minus 2 sine theta equal to 0. Tidying that up, we have 3 sine squared theta minus 2 sine theta. 2 minus 3 is -1 equal to 0. Again, at this stage, You can factorize it, you can complete the square, you can use a quadratic formula, but you have to have a technique. If you don't put a technique and you just stick down the answers as whatever they are, then you will lose the marks for it. If we say that this is 3t squared minus 2t minus 1 equals 0, then I'm going to factorize this. Because it's prime, it can only be 3t and t. Because it's 1, it can only be 1, 1. I want the larger part to be a minus, so there's a minus there, and the plus goes there. 3t plus 1 equals 0, t minus 1 is equal to 0, 3t equals minus 1, t equals minus a third, t equals 1. Note this as well, it wants between 0 and 360. So in putting it in terms of 0 and 360, we would then substitute back in, instead of t, we have sine theta equals minus a third, or theta equals sine to the minus 1 of minus a third. And on the other side, we would have sine theta equals 1, theta equals sine to the minus 1 of 1. Put these both in calculators. So for the first one, it's going to be minus 19.47. And for the second one, theta is going to equal 90. A quick sketch. Okay, you don't get any marks for the sketch. The sketch is there to help you. I know some of you do use cast. Up, down, up. So that is my minus 90. That is my 90, 180, 270. And it is my 360. So I want it in the range. If I put it in green, I want it in the range of that there. So you can see that for this value, that's the only one within that range. In the range. So that's the only one that's in the value of that range. The next one would be 450. It's outside, so I'll leave it alone. So theta is equal to 90 on that one. So what I need to do next then is I need to look at the other side. So that's minus 19.4. So that line there is minus a third. So working with the graph, I can see that I need to know that point there and that point there, which would give me 180 plus 19.47, which is 199.47, and it'll also give me 360 minus 19.47, which is 340.53. That being the case, I now could put both of those in and I can get it roughly to minus 1/3 or minus 0.3. Answer, I've got 1, 1, so I can probably put them all in green then. 1, and I've done the sort of schoolboy error of clicking over what I want, so I just underlined it. So those are my 3 points that I need to sort of move on. Answered the question, 6 marks, let's go. Okay, given that y is equal to that function, find dy by dx when x is equal to 8, and then b is integrate that. Before we can differentiate, we need to make sure that we have all the powers in the right place. So we have y equals 5x to the minus 1. If I'm bringing a power up from the bottom, then it needs to be minus in that power. So it's been flipped, and then plus 6x, and this is the third root, so it's going to be power over third. Differentiate, so dy by dx, you are dropping, you're reducing the power and times in, so it's going to be minus 1 times 5 x to the minus 2 plus then you've got 6x to the third So it's going to be 6 times 1/3 x, and then it is 1 minus 1/3, which is going to be minus 2/3. So dy by dx is minus 5 over x squared plus 2. Doesn't really make any difference. We could put underneath x to the 2/3. Put x equal to 8 in, so that you have minus 5 over 64, because 8 is better 64, plus 2 over 8, the 2/3. Now, cube root of 8 is 2, 2 squared is 4. But you've got a calculator, so we just put it into the calculator. It comes up as 27 over 64. And then you're done. There are going to be awkward numbers, just because it makes more sense. You're testing the skill, and then you have to rely on yourself. Okay. Next, we have find the integral of 5x 3 over 2 plus 12x to the minus 5 plus 7 dx. So we're going to integrate each of these terms. Whereas with differentiation, we drop the power and reduce the power by 1. Now we are going to be increasing the power and dividing by the new power. So increase 3 over 2, that becomes 5 over 2 now. So we have 5x to the 5 over 2 divided by 5 over 2 plus 12x to the minus 4 over minus 4. And then that's going to be plus 7x, and do not forget the plus c. The 5 divided by it, so you get 2x to the 5 over 2 minus 3x to the minus 4 plus 7x plus c. Look, 2x to the 5 over 2 minus 3x to the minus 4 plus 7x plus c. Make sure I didn't miss anything. 6 marks. Been on. Now, we did look at this if you had a look at previously. Let me just check if I've done a separate page. Yeah, I got a blank page for this. Good. So this is simultaneous equations again. Okay. And we did look at the start of this question, but I didn't want to integrate it. So the sketch shows the curve C with the equation y equals 14 plus 5x minus x squared, and also y equals x plus 2. Find the coordinates of A and B. So that's a 4 marker. So the good thing is, y is equal to both of them. If y is equal to both of them, you can say that x plus 2 is equal to 14 plus 5x minus x squared. Rearranging this, so the x squared, bring it over to make it a positive, minus 4x, and then that would be minus 12 equal to 0. In doing so, again, factorize the square, quadratic formula, makes no difference as long as there is a technique. 12, 6 and 2. And this will be minus, and this one will be positive. So x plus 2 is equal to 0, x minus 6 is equal to 0. Go back to normal. So that we have x equals minus 2, x is equal to 6. So obviously here is going to be minus 2, and I can put that in minus 2 in, and this is going to be 6 something. Putting it into y equals x plus 2, find out the y coordinates. When at y, x is 2, you have minus 2 plus 2, so y is equal to 0, as it's sort of intermediate on the graph, but I do like to check these things. And then when x is equal to 6, y equals 6 plus 2, which is 8. So this coordinate is 6, 8, and move this up above it. Okay, so what we've been asked to do is to calculate the area enclosed by L and C, so in which case is the shaded region. In doing so, we know how to integrate. If we integrate between A and B, the curve, we work out the full region. Okay, so we would work out the whole thing. Don't really want to work out the whole thing, but we can create a shape which is a right angle triangle, and we know that B is going to be 8 in height, and A to sort of that line there is going to be 6, 7, 8 is going to be 8 there. So what we can do is we could integrate between A and B and then take away the area of the triangle. So we would integrate between the limits of -2 and 6, the curve, 14 plus 5x minus x squared dx. And then once we work out the answer to that, we would minus the area of triangle, which is a half base times height. And then, as I said, we worked out that the height is 8 and that the base is 8 as well. So we can work that out, which is 32. So if we go on to the integration part, and then I can 8 times 8, 64, 32. And then I'll remember to put that in after. So if we go back to the black, I am integrating 14 plus 5x minus x squared between -2 and 6, 14 plus 5x minus x squared and limits are -2 and 6, so 14x plus 5x squared over 2 minus x cubed over 3. To put the limits in, it would be 14 times 6 plus 5 times 6 squared over 2 minus 6 cubed over 3. Minus, then it is 14 minus 2 plus 5 times -2 squared over 2 minus 2 cubed over 3. And then that is, again, something which you can just shove straight into the calculator, and is 352. A point about this as well, all the graph is above the x-axis. If some of it touched it below, we would have to have split it up into 2 sort of sections, because anything below the x-axis, when you work out the area by our integration, will be negative. So then we'd have to counteract that. Coming back to this, and then take away the area of the triangle, which is 32. So then area of shaded region equals 352 over 3 minus 32, and that is going to give us 256 over 3 units squared. And I would put it as, leave it as 256 over 3. You could put it as a decimal. I don't think, had it said to find the exact area, no, if it was, it'd probably have to give an extra mark for that, which is why they sort of left it off. So if they're asked to find the exact area, then it would be written as a fraction, or you'd have to put that as recurring either 3 or 6, depending on what. And the next question. Question 8, given that x minus 2 and x plus 2 are factors of the polynomial 2x cubed plus px squared plus qx minus 12. So find the values of p and q, determine the other factor of the polynomial. Okay, so this is the factor theorem. You have probably been taught straight away to put f of x equals 2x cubed plus px squared plus qx minus 12. The factor theorem is, if I put a number in, it should equal 0, then it is a factor. So the number I've got, x minus 2, so if I put f of 2 in, 2 in, then I have 2 times 2 cubed plus p times 2 squared plus q times 2 minus 12. Because that is a factor, that is equal to 0. In tidying that up, would give me 4p plus 2q, and that is going to equal minus 4. 2 cubed, that's 2 to the 4, which is 16. 16 minus 12 is 4. Take it over to the other side. Now, if we use f minus 2, so that's going to be 2 times minus 2 cubed plus p times minus 2 squared plus q times minus 2 minus 12. And again, this is equal to 0. Tidying that up would give me 4p minus 2q. And this time it's going to be 28. Because the minus 2 cubed is, and also times the 2 is going to give minus 16. Minus 16 minus 12 is that minus 28. Take it over to the other side. So again, we've got simultaneous equations. These are nicer ones because the coefficients appear the same. So it is 4p plus 2q equals minus 4. 4p minus 2q is equal to 28. Take away. So then minus minus become a plus. 4q is equal to minus 32. Q equals minus 32 over 4, which is minus 8. Substituting into one of them, it doesn't make any difference. So if we do 4p minus 16 equals minus 4, 4p minus 16 comes over, so that'll be positive. 12 is equal to 3. And then it says find the values of p and q, which we have done. Determine the factor of the polynomial. So this polynomial, 2x cubed plus, so I worked out p is 3, x squared, and I worked out q is minus 8x minus 12 is equivalent to x minus 2, x plus 2, then ax plus b. That's that last factor, which we don't know. And how I would work this out would be to compare coefficients. So if we compare, let's compare x cubed coefficient. Well, what comparing coefficients does is I know that on the left-hand side, the coefficient of x cubed is 2. So therefore, on the right-hand side, the coefficient of x cubed also must be equal to 2. So if I compare x cubed coefficient, 2 is equivalent to, and the only way I can get an x cubed is ax cubed. So a is equal to 2. Because x times x is x squared times the ax there is ax cubed. So a is 2, and I'd probably then compare the constant. Comparing the constant on the left-hand side, it's minus 12. And the only way to get the constant on the right-hand side is minus 2 times b. So minus 2 times 2 is minus 4. So it's going to be minus 4b. So b equals minus 12 over minus 4, which is 3. Therefore, the remaining value, or the remaining, determine the factor. The remaining factor is 2x plus 3. And then we're done. So question 9. No, question 10. I think question 9 was something else. So it is the binomial theory. So you can various different ways of doing this. You can use Pascal, you can use the choose button on your calculator, but I need to expand a plus root b to the power of 4. So a plus root b to the power of 4 is c for 0. C40 a to the power of 4 plus 4c1 a cubed square root of b power 1 4c2 a squared square root of b squared 4c3 a square root of b cubed plus 4c4, and then it's just going to be square root of b power of 4. You could also use Pascal's triangle, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So because it's to the power of 4, this then would be the coefficients. So this is 4c0, 4c1, 4c2, 4c3, and 4c4, which will give me 4c0 is 1, so that's just going to be 8 to the 4. 4c1 is 4, a cubed square root of b. That's going on there. 6 a squared b, because square root of b all squared is b. 4 a, and that's going to be b root b plus b squared. There's your 2 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. So whatever the power of n is, n plus 1 is the number of terms you're going to have. Now, if you notice, everything is going to be exactly the same, except you're going to have minus signs for the second one. So you will have a minus root b to the power of 4. We can sort of, if you wanted to highlight where the b is going to be affected, it's in your head. So there, first term isn't going to be affected at all. So that's just going to be a 4. Here now we have minus root b. So this is going to be the same term, but it's going to be a minus 4a cubed root b. The next one is going to be minus root b all squared. So that's going to be positive. So it's going to be plus 6a squared b. Next one is going to be minus 4ab root b. And then the last one is going to be b squared. So now when you're taking one away from the other, you could take them away here. So a, that's just going to go to 0. Minus and minus make a plus. So then that's going to be 8a cubed b. That's going to go to 0. And minus make a plus. So that's going to be 8ab root b. And then that's just basically it. And then it would help if you read the question back over. Not actually taken away. I do apologize. It is plus. So if we just plus them now. So a to the 4 plus a to the 4 is 2a to the 4. These then would cancel. Plus 12a squared b. And then it's going to be plus 2b to the squared because these would cancel as well. Which would then give you the correct answer. And have I got time for one more? I will have a look at the vectors and then I'll sort of finish. So the vectors u and v are defined by u equals and v equals determine the range of values for lambda such that u mod v is greater than mod u. So let's do mod u, which is just basically Pythagoras. So wherever u is, it's going to be each of the numbers squared. Add it together because you're looking at the magnitude of it, the length of it, and that is putting your calculator is 41. Putting in v, it's exactly the same process. So it's going to be 3 squared plus minus 4 all squared, and that will give you an answer of 5. So then you're told that mu 5 is greater than 41. So mu is greater than 41 over 5 So mu must be greater than 2. And that's part A. For part B, the way I sort of use these unit vectors is there's my origin. There is A in this case. There's my origin, and there is B. A dotted line going across there. So I know that the point A has position vector. So that just means from O to A is 11i minus 4j. So 11i minus 4j. And point B has position vector, and it's going in this direction. So it's going to be O to A. And point B has position vector 21i plus j. So 21i plus j. Determine the position of C, which lies on between A and B. So if I don't know, C as there. So to get, we need to do a sort of which lies between A and B such that AC and CB is equal to 2/3, 2.3 in a ratio. First of all, let's work out AB. Well, the only way to work out AB using the information given is AO plus OB. If I go against the sort of travel of it, then I change the sign. So AO is minus 11i plus 4j. That is plus 21i plus j. So AB is equal to 10i plus 5j. If I wanted AC, I know it's in a ratio of 2/5. Ni plus 5j, yes, because it is divided by the total ratio is 5, and there are 2 bits in. So AC is then going to be 4i plus 2j. So now I can work out the position vector OC, which is OA, and that is plus AC. Well, for OA, I'm going in the right direction, so it's 11i minus 4j, and then that is also AC is in the correct direction from above, so it's plus 4i plus 2j, so that is 15i minus 2j, which is the correct answer. Okay, thank you very much for watching over the last sort of sessions. If you have sort of got any questions, if you have enjoyed, hopefully you have, and you can also catch up with the other sort of topics online. If you go to the Carlin website, then as I said, I hope you've enjoyed all this session so far. Thank you very much.